salty, man, now these haters salty.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I'm Niners Jess, along with Ty Alston. Matty B is having technical difficulties. He will be joining us, and your girl Bex. Happy Wednesday, guys.
Happy Wednesday. Hey.
And happy first day of training camp practice.
Yes, indeed. The boys are back.
Yes, absolutely. What's up, Maddie?
Back in town. Good song, boys.
I think we're better now. I think we're good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's Wednesday, July 24th. Have some things to talk about. Ricky Pearsall's on the NFI.
Yeah.
Drake Jackson, Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga are on PUP. George Kittle, Travarius Ward are good to go. What are you guys' thoughts on Ricky Pearsall?
It happened away from the facility. He pulled something. So they're saying he's going to be out this week, but could return next week. So hopefully it's not too bad. You know, it's a small little tweak, twinge, who knows? But hopefully, you know, hamstrings are always weird. They're funny. You never know how they could go. So hopefully this isn't a bad one, and he'll be in there next week doing his thing. Hey, Gammon.
What's up, Don? All right. Becca, thoughts?
You just hope that it's nothing serious, and because they haven't really expanded on any of the details, so you just hope it's a minor thing that happened. And as you said, he's back next week, and it's forgotten by the time the season starts.
Yeah,
it's just unfortunate because hamstrings tend to linger.
Yeah,
and we definitely don't need his lingering into the season. So better to be safe than sorry. Go ahead, Maddie.
Oh. I thought he was just waiting patiently.
Yeah, I thought so too. Oh.
Man down.
Third time's a charm. Let's see what happens. All right. So, and then on PUP, we have Drake Jackson, who had the knee surgery. Dre Greenlaw with the Achilles, who's just dying to get back out there. Saw some video today of him just kind of rehabbing on the side. And then they had said that he kind of went up against like the sled a little bit. Nothing crazy. But I don't know. They say that we're going to have him back like November, December. I find that really hard to believe, to be honest. But
that's still early for me, from what I think.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think?
Just because it happened. Remember, this thing just happened in February.
True. That's true.
So, and to have him back then seems early-ish, especially for like an explosive guy like him. He's moving laterally up and down, jumping, all the things that he does. That's a lot of wear and tear. It takes toll. It takes time to build all of that back up. And I know guys like some pass rushers have come back sooner than that, but they're just like running a straight line to the quarterback almost. They're not doing all the movement that he does. So it just seems early for me, but if he does come back early, I know he's been doing all the right things because they know how to take care of their players. Like, hey, God bless. I'm wishing him a speedy and healthy recovery. So if he gets back then, that's right in playoff time. And if we can get that back right as the playoff starts, hey, more power to us. That's more, firepower for the defense.
That's true. And then Talanoa Hufanga with his ACL should be back around the same time as well. But one thing of note, the Shanastash is gone. I wasn't upset about it either. I was glad to see it go.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Feeling the look.
I think he said his wife was also not a fan. So
He said his wife liked it, but he got rid of it because he didn't want the media to make too much of it.
Oh, I thought he said that she was not a fan.
She actually she liked it. So before we get to BA and Trent Williams, I was hoping Maddie would be on for this because he was really honing in on Tim Kawakami's podcast with Kyle Shanahan. But Kyle had asked Bill Belichick to be the defensive coordinator. And Bill politely declined. From what I read, he pretty much said, you can do whatever you want.
I think he just wanted him on the staff, really.
Yeah.
And said, you could do whatever you want. If you want to run the defense, run the defense. He just wanted him there.
Right. So what do you guys think about that?
Go ahead,
well, I mean, I think you have to shoot your shot, right? It's Bill Belichick. So if he's out there and available, you're going to offer him something. But, I don't think he's going to be interested unless it's a head coaching position. And for him to decline is not a surprise. And Ty already said what he said before the show. So I'll let you say that again. But, yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that he declined. I think he's not interested in going backwards. I think if he's going to go out, he's going to go out in a head coaching job.
Yeah, one thing you can say about Kyle is he's always interested in putting together the best staff that he can. And we've seen him get former head coaches and bring them in. Bill Belichick is just another one of those names. He saw a former head coach, a person that he has a relationship with. Hey, come in, help us win this thing. Like, we can say anything about any other position on the field, but when it comes to coaches, Kyle definitely shoots his shot. So can't fault him for that, because we do have one of the best coaching staffs in the entire league. Of course, Bill declined. Bill clearly has other interests going on right now. After 30, 40 years of being around sweaty dudes all the time, he's looking to do something else. As we so
see Steve-O's comment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what we were talking about before the show, Steve-O.
Bill's going around shooting his shot right now.
Exactly.
I was just reading Rob D's comment. All right, so let's get to BA. BA reported he's not practicing. So it's not necessarily a holdout. It's called a hold in, which is kind of what Jordan Love is doing in Green Bay. He told the team, though, that his neck and his back were sore. That's why he wasn't practicing. And then he walked off the field, and he was with John Lynch, and apparently went into to HQ. Your thoughts, guys, on Brandon Ayuk? And just last week he requested a trade, and now he shows up, neck and back are sore. What do you think?
It's all part of, go ahead, Becca. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's all part of the show. The neck and back thing, if you believe it, he's there, he's in the building, so he doesn't get fined, I'm sure. And I'm sure there's still some ongoing negotiations, and the talk is still happening. I think they probably made it clear that he's not getting traded at this point, and so he's still under contract. So it's resigning to the fact that you have to show up, you're going to have to play the season, irrespective of whether or not an extension gets done. But I think the team working on it, they have no choice but to work on it. And I think at some point there will be consensus and they will get it done. It's just crappy that it takes this long for us to always get these deals done. And I think we're all past our dates of.
We are.
Not me. Didn't I say the end of July or something?
Let's see. Tied the 29th. You still have a few days left. See
Yeah,
that?
until Monday.
Matt was the 16th. Jess was the 17th. I was the 19th. And Ty is the 29th. So Ty, you're the only one left with the shot.
Hold it
Get
out.
to shoot more
All right.
shot.
Get her done. He's in the building. Get her done.
He's in the building.
I should have said that my day would have been the day that he requested the trade, because that's actually the day the day that happened.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Rob D says he's avoiding the fines. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what
I
the
just-
hold-ins are. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing is just bizarre. It just, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about how BA handled everything up
Mhm.
until this point. Like, I know in the 11th hour requesting a trade, and now you show up, and now, allegedly your neck and back are sore. That's what you're telling the team. And, I mean, when does this not become a distraction,
Yeah.
to be honest?
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not even like a distraction. It's like stupid drama.
Right. But at some point that stupid
Yeah.
drama leaks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it's,
And that's what
yeah.
I'm not a fan of. But I believe that this locker room and the leaders are strong for that,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and won't allow that. But it's just
No.
the annoying drama that nobody
Yeah.
wants to put up with.
Yeah. And in the whole Holden thing, that's par for the course. We've seen it. This happened. This began. I forget who it was. It was years ago. Somebody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show up, but I ain't gonna do anything." And that's when the whole hold in thing began. Instead of holding out, staying home and getting fined.
Yeah.
You show up, and it was actually Jalen Ramsey who took it to a new level, who came in and didn't even dress for practice or anything at all, because he was claiming his back was hurt and his legs was hurt and all this other stuff while he was working out an extension. So that's the playbook. That's where these players are now. So for him to do that, it's like you expect it with all the other shenanigans that went on during the off season up until this point. What makes it really frustrating is when you see a person like him doing all this stuff, and then you see a guy like Diamador Lenore, who's also trying to get an extension done, doing absolutely none of it. Not saying a word, not saying a thing, showing up, practicing. Just when he was asked about it, hey, it's being negotiated, and I'm hopeful something gets done. That's it. That's it. So it's like, why is this one guy gets it, but the other one doesn't? It's very frustrating when you look at that dynamic.
And then there's the video of him walking, and he actually looks like a little kid that didn't get his way.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're pouting. Like,
Pouting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the way he's walking, and it's like, and that's the drama that I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you there. Yeah.
I mean, Debo didn't even do that.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's super
it's-
frustrating to watch.
It is. It's very frustrating, and I hope it's done with, however the way they want to deal with it. I just hope it's done with soon.
Yeah. Well, one thing is to note is, remember during Kyle and John's press conference, John did say they were trying very early to get something done. They just couldn't come to an agreement. So it's like, okay, who's playing the hardball here? Is it the 49ers or is it Ayuk's camp? Something's got to give here. So I'm hoping this thing gets done so we get some details and we find out whom the party is that's not budging. But we'll see. But the 49ers have been trying to get a deal done. Everyone always blames them. Oh, why do they take so long? Well, they've been trying. It takes two to tango, right?
Yep.
I just can't agree.
Yeah, it does. Oh, we might have Maddie back.
All right.
Yeah,
Get in here, buddy.
you know, Kyle Shanahan had said on TK's podcast that like he doesn't see like the contracts, negotiations of like them like happening later, like as how they do things. Like everything is situational.
Yeah.
I don't know if whether I believe that or not, because it seems that everybody who we've extended has always been late.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maddie, we're talking about the BA stuff, about how he, walked off the field. He told the team that his neck and back are sore. Like at what point does this, if at all, leak into the locker room as, drama and a distraction, stuff like that. What are your thoughts on it?
I think the longer this goes, the worse it is for everybody. BA, 49ers, everybody. So figure it out. Now, if you went into Lynch's office today, maybe they're going to work out a 1-year deal with like a parachute clause where he can get out this year and go test the market. It would be silly for them to trade him unless they're going to get some sort of impact player and big pick for next year back. And by impact player, I mean like a Patrick Surtain, right? Or a Matthew Judon, along with like a first or second round pick. Like you got to be knocked out of the park and somebody has to pay him. So I don't see that happening, but I also don't see him getting $30 million a year either. So I think going to end up reaching some sort of compromise so that his neck and back magically heal. And then they can get along with this Trent Williams thing, right? And then get everybody back to work. But if you want to win a Super Bowl, this shit's got to stop. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want about all the things and whatever. These guys deserve to be paid. They're putting it on the line every week. You've known all off season these guys want to get paid. Now should not be the time that you're dealing with this garbage. Every off season we are dealing with this. And if you listen to that podcast today, which, by the way, shout out to Kyle Shanahan for being totally transparent on that podcast. You don't get that from a lot of active NFL head coaches. I don't care what the format was or who he was on with. He was honest. He was direct. He dropped a lot of knowledge. Like, he really debated whether or not to go between Jimmy and Tom Brady in 2020. That's super cool, right? But that's another, Tony, that's like, why aren't they already ahead of the game on this? If they knew that Brock Purdy couldn't get his deal until next year, why not structure everything in such a way so that Brandon Ayuk gets his deal before Amon-Ra St. Brown and all these other guys? Why aren't we beating these other teams to the market? Why are we letting them add $5 to $6 million to our cap just because they're on top of it? Like, what is going on? Why does this keep happening? And don't tell me it doesn't affect this team's Super Bowl chances, because it does. It has. Do you think the Super Bowl goes a little bit differently last year if Nick Bosa, I don't know, has a full training, like a full season? Do you think he's a better player? Maybe. Do you think maybe Deebo Samuel has a better 2022? The season turns out a little differently? Who knows? We don't know, right? We don't know. Maybe the home games in SF, in Santa Clara, as opposed to Philly in one of those scenarios. Like, there's all sorts of cool things that could have happened. But, of course, ifs and buts, candies and nuts, all those things. But at the end of the day, you control what you can control. And this, to me, is something that this franchise can control a hell of a lot better than they currently have been. And if this era goes by without a Super Bowl, people are going to look at this and be like, was it worth it? Was it worth the cap flexibility and the, Colin Parag, Johnny Cap flexibility to not win? Because if so, hey, great, you got a good cap number, but you didn't win a Super Bowl. Figure it out. There's money. It's not like there's no money. Figure it out.
But is there a thing as too much money?
Thank you.
Is there a thing as too much money, though? Like, what if Brandon Ayuk is asking for $35 million a year?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then yeah.
Is that being
too
fiscally
much.
responsible to the organization?
I agree. Now, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to have that happy medium, but at the same time, there's a difference between 2 million and 7 million, right? And I think they've just decided we're not going over 28. Like, they have decided this is it. We're not going above this. And for whatever reason, they're not going above that, no matter what he does or what happens. So we'll see how it goes. And Ty, I agree with you. I'm not saying match his price under any circumstances, but what I'm saying is, if they had done this maybe a month after the Super Bowl, maybe if they had done this,
they said they tried
after free agency. They said they tried and they were close. So what happened?
Yeah.
Ayuk said he was going to get a
No
suit.
one knows.
So what happened?
Ayuk said the same thing. So they're both on the same page there. They tried, they were close, and then something happened.
So where did it go?
Stalled. So we don't know. No one knows. That's
that,
the story we need to find out.
And because that seems to me, it seems like that tends to happen a lot with them, though, right? They're close on something. It seems like everything's going to be a deal. They're going to wrap it up because they learned the lesson from last year, and then they didn't. But Shanahan said something in that podcast too, where he said that Bosa didn't even start negotiating until a certain point in time.
I was going to bring that up. That he started,
which I thought was
late.
Really interesting. But again, like, don't we want to be on that? I don't know. Whatever it is, they're paid more than me. I just think when it starts affecting stuff on the field, and you can clearly see over the last 2 years, it has affected things on the field with two players that, to me, are the difference between winning and losing, depending on how one or the other may play. You know, I don't want to see the same thing happen this year. So, speedy recovery to Brandon Ayuk's neck and back. Speedy recovery to Trent Williams' carpal tunnel syndrome or whatever's going on, you know. So, yeah. Speedy recovery to both. Love you both. Get everything you can. Get everything you deserve. And if it's not here, I get it, but man, it should be here.
Tony says, Matt, all the guys are asking for money at once, CMC, Trent, BA. But you know what's funny? They could do a Trent extension like they did with CMC. And they could
there's
still
no
sign
guaranteed
Brandon
money.
Ayuk.
There's no Trent guaranteed money right now. In fact, here's the thing. This is the thing that everybody needs to remember. And please, 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 please remember this. There is a very good possibility that when they sign Ayuk, when they sign Trent, to those deals, those cap hits are going to be later on. Okay, that's not going to be a this year thing.
Later.
In fact, they may be able to create a bunch of like cap space with these moves for this year. Now, what's cool about that? If they don't use it all, they can roll it over to next year, right?
Yep.
So, and this cap is going to keep going up. So there is a possibility. We all talk about everything's going to be blown up. There is a possibility they could keep rolling this over and rolling this over. And there's also the possibility, too, where, like, let's say they win a Super Bowl next year. What if some of these guys know maybe they've got a year, maybe two left, and you have a guy like a Kyle Juszczyk, right? Do I really want to leave? I could win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I make $1 million less, but I could win a Super Bowl, another Super Bowl next year, and then I could retire. And I don't have to move all this. Like, I can go off into the sunset. You're going to have a lot of guys come back for that ring, right? You're going to have a lot of guys, you know, I like to call it the South Beach, the South Beach vacation. You go down, you get your ring with LeBron, and then you leave back when LeBron was down in South Beach. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to go play with him because, you know, it was him and Bosch and Wade, and everybody wanted to come down there. You can kind of do the same thing in the NFL with a lot of these guys, because a lot of these guys still have tread on the tires, but like teams just don't want to pay them anymore. They can't.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. See if he comes back. I know.
Like Randy Gregory? Like Randy Gregory can't even show up in Tampa. Like, he was at every practice for us, right? He can't even like pop in there. And he decided to sign with them. So, yeah, we have a chance, but and things can be rolled over. I'm not worried about the salary cap. They don't pay me to worry about the salary cap. And I'm going to ask all you: would you take if
You're gonna have to ask us again because we can't hear you.
Here we go. I'm going to ask you one more time.
All right.
I made a deal. We're going to go 0 and whatever next year, but we're winning the Super Bowl this year. Okay. Right? I don't care. Like, it's time. 30 years. You're on the clock. Let's go. People need to see a parade. Let's go. Make it happen.
Are you sending in the lefty?
Send it in. Send in the lefty.
Calling in for Steve Young.
Oh, I wish. Oh.
I don't know. I just get it done. I don't like these holdouts, hold-ins, whatever. Same thing with Trent Williams. I mean, like somebody actually made like a good point. They were like, yeah, but I thought on Wednesdays it's like a vet day off.
He never practices on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, oh, yeah. But then like, Kyle kind of confirmed that it was contract related. So there goes that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so getting to the practice, I know it's day one, a long way to go. What's up, Beto?
Beto.
Malik Mustafa seems to be the hot name in camp.
Mhm.
Had an interception against Dobbs. Apparently he was single high safety and got some ground and took care of that. What are you guys' thoughts on him and and just this practice overall? Like, it's day one. Just go ahead, your thoughts.
Go ahead, Becca.
I mean, early on, he seemed to be making a splash before today. So a lot of people seem to have their eyes on him already, that he's doing really well. So I think it's something fun to watch and see, how he progresses through training camp, especially if he's already, surprising or, doing so well early on. So I think that'll be fun to see what he does and how he continues to develop. He's certainly shredded.
Yeah.
He's built the part, right?
The shirtless pictures are like, holy moly.
Yeah, he really is. That's
Yeah, for me, I'm never training camp and preseason comes around. I'm all about the rookies and the reserves. So for Malik Mustafa, we've kind of talked about this early on, that with Huff down, he's like has the potential to be that other starting safety as a rookie, right? He just has to show out in camp and preseason and he can take the job. He can be that guy next to Jair Brown. And so to hear a report like this on day one, that he's doing good things, oh Lord, there goes the neighborhood. To hear a report, that he's doing well on day one is a very positive sign. That's what you want to hear. So I'm very happy to hear that. I hope these reports continue. And, practice overall seems like it went well. To hear a guy like Danny Gray was out there making plays, like, okay, we've got a Danny Gray sighting. That's a good thing.
Hallelujah.
Like, you want to hear these young guys step up, because you never know. You just never know when their number could be called. So seems like a great practice overall. Sad to see Isaac Guerrero go down with a hamstring. We just talked about hamstrings a minute ago. They're funny. They're finicky, especially with these fast guys. Like, the faster you are, the worse your hamstring can be. So hopefully his isn't too bad. Hopefully we'll hear a report on it tomorrow after they, do an MRI, examine it some, and hopefully he'll be back on the field soon. But good day one.
Elephant in the room, Niners. Jess, where is your hat, young lady?
Oh yeah, the only one
I
not
know
wearing
I'm the only one without a hat. We got to coordinate better next time. I didn't get the memo. Maddie, we were talking about Malik Mustafa and how he's, a name that's already popping up. And Ty mentioned Danny Gray, which I'm rooting for Danny Gray. Like I really like him.
Mhm.
They said, like, I know it's day one. I know they said that, like, it's his route running was great.
Mhm.
Seemed to be doing a lot better than he has. What are your thoughts, Maddie?
Anytime we draft someone and they look good at any point in time, I'm happy. Malik Mustafa looked at, once again, built like a brick shithouse. Had a great play today. Great pickoff today. People are pumped about. People have been pumped about him. Honestly, they were pumped about him in OTAs, right?
Yeah, very true.
Yes.
And fun fact, if there's one thing this team can draft, it's freaking safeties. Okay, they can find safeties. So why are we shocked that they're finding a late round safety? Why are we stunned by this?
Shouldn't be.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, like, and here's the deal: we're still some of these guys that are drafted are like 20 days younger than some of the guys that.
I just think with with all, like, the BA talk and everything, not that anybody is shocked, but it's just good to have
There's
a
this
story like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got Danny Gray with the 3-year thing, like, finally, having a good practice.
He's saying it's great to have positive news come
Yeah.
out from practice with these young guys in their rookie, second, third years.
Gonna add
Yeah,
your
and even another name that Tony mentioned is D Winters.
D Winters. Yep, I was going to say that too. I was reading Matt's lips. I'm sure he said D Winters.
Yep.
And D Winters is popping and gelling. And remember, last training camp and preseason, D Winters was a guy who showed up like on film in the games, in those preseason games. You're like, this Winters kid looks promising. But when you're sitting behind Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, it's hard to get on the field. And we know they don't like playing rookies much anyway. But now it's his opportunity to shine. So
Yeah.
Yep. It's good to hear the reports on the young guys.
And then Leonard Floyd tweaked his calf, but wound up coming back, which was good. I was watching David Lombardi earlier, and the way he made it sound, I was like, oh man, like, because that calf is connected to the Achilles, like it just,
Yeah, they said he was down and holding the bottom of his leg, and I'm like, oh no. Whenever you hear a guy holding something and being down, it's like, oh no. But he came back, so I'm like, woo, all right, good stuff.
So last week we had Brent Jones on. He talked a lot about the Golden Heart Fund. And we still have the QR code up. So if you'd like to donate for the Golden Heart Fund, please do. It's a really cool thing. Helps out former players. And I'm glad the Niners have that.
And the URL is the goldenheartfund.org, correct?
/donate.
/donate. Yes, for those who like to go in their browser and type it in directly on the bottom of the screen, you got the URL there. Just go check it out. Even if you want to donate, go check it out. See what the organization is all about. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing, and it'll be worth your time.
Yeah, definitely. We're the only team in the league that has that. But it was good to hear that a couple of teams reached out.
Yeah.
With regard to that. All right. So switching to offense a little bit. Brock Purdy, his first throw, rolls right, 25 yards downfield to Eric Saubert. Eric Saubert was completely covered, and Brock laid it in there. I think that's, it's, I can't reference this enough that, like, go back to this enough that it's only day one. But I think this time last year, like, people were talking about his interceptions, even the first day of practice. So are we going to see a new Brock Purdy this year, Ty?
I don't say, oh man. Well, new compared to last offseason?
Yes.
I would say yes. If you compare it to last offseason, yes. Right? If you compare it to the end of the regular season and the Super Bowl, no. As we know, it's Brock's team. He has full control of the offense. He was able to actually work on himself and the offense this offseason, which, as we talked about before on the show, that's only going to elevate his play this year. So to see him come out and firing bullets right out the gate, I don't think any of us should be surprised by that. And, the outsiders are still talking about what he is not, but that's okay. Because we, the faithful, know what he is. And we're just going to ride that to the Super Bowl like we did last year. So I'm happy to see Brock out there healthy and doing his thing.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that this offseason he wasn't rehabbing his injury. They had said that he had said that he was rehabbing well into November last season. Which is kind of, you have an injury, you got to keep up with it, even though, everything is fine and, and stuff like that.
That's not new news for players who have off-season surgeries. Like, it takes your body time to heal. And then as a football player, build up football muscle and all that stuff. So plenty of players, they come back to camp and, all that stuff. And yes, I'm fine. I'm 100%, but they're not really 100%. They're rehabbing well into the season to get fully up to that point. And I remember years ago, you used to hear like players say, "Oh, I'm at 75% right now. I'm at 80% right now." Like, they would never admit they weren't at 100%. Nowadays, it seems like it's taboo. You got to say you're at 100 and just keep it going from there. It's like, so it's not shocking. And then, it shows you just the man and football player and the dedication that he had to just keep playing through that with reckless abandon, because he didn't hold back. We were all there in Pittsburgh when he was taking off running and diving, and it wasn't like he was flinching on that arm or anything. He was going for it. So it shows you the gamer and the player that he is.
I would also add that he's got another year under his belt on the mental side of the game and experience to go along with it. So to come out after a full offseason to work on his physical self rather than rehab, he also has another year of experience that went all the way to the Super Bowl. So, mentally, I think he's, the game probably has slowed down for him a little bit, that now that he has seen it and been to the highest level. So I think it's good for us. It's good for Brock, and I'm not surprised he's out there able to drop some dimes on someone who's fully covered. So
that is a huge point right there you just made. Huge.
Yeah. Matt, are you with us?
In spirit.
Being dark and mysterious.
Sage your equipment. Burn some sage.
It's funny.
Yeah, right.
Before the show started, we talked about technical difficulties.
Yes.
And welcome to the East Coast Red Go.
Where shit happens.
We have it. Yeah, where shit happens.
Shit always happens.
Tony says Debo looked to be in really good shape. Yeah, he did. And I don't think it's because he changed his number to number 1 and stuff like that. He seemed to be really moving. Now I know BA wants to be paid like a number 1 receiver. But is he though for the Niners?
I would say that, yeah, he's wide receiver number 1, but Debo is like weapon number 1, choice number 1. When Kyle wants to make some ish happen, he goes to Debo. So it is what it is.
But when it's on the line, it always seems like BA finds a way to get open, and that's Brock's, go-to man.
Yeah, but that's the dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Because Brock knows, you want to put your best cornerback on him and cover him one-on-one? Oh, I'm going to him.
Okay.
I know he's going to win.
Yeah.
I know. So, yeah. It's like, yeah. What's going to be funny is when this deal gets done and they sign him, and Kyle talked about how Brock has autonomy to change plays at the line of scrimmage and blah, blah, blah. What if Brock's out there like, hold up, I'm reading the coverage. BA's one-on-one. This play is supposed to go to Debo, but I see what's going on over there.
Yep.
Switch it up. Tango. Right? I'm going this way. Yeah. It's going to be a fun season. I'm excited.
It's going to be fun for sure. But I don't think that, on one hand, I was thinking, well, that might start to cause some issues. But how many 1,000-yarders did we have on the team? So, we did a great job of sharing the love and the wealth. So I don't think we're going to have any problems with who gets ball. Yeah.
It does help that we have the Yak Bros, though.
Yeah.
The yards after catch. It definitely.
It's huge.
It's very huge.
But the season should be fun. Definitely looking forward to it. We're about 47 days away from week 1 when we play the Jets, Monday Night Football.
It's going to go quick.
Looking ahead, their defense, Hassan Reddick is holding out. He wants a new contract.
He wants the deal.
I know this stuff is like around the league. I'm just like mentally exhausted with hearing about all this stuff already.
CeeDee Lamb's not showing up.
CeeDee Lamb, right?
All these guys in their contracts.
Yes. But looking ahead to that game, what has to happen for us to win that game? Because you figure they have a revamped defense in a way. Robert Saleh is their head coach. I feel like they're going to be playing lights out for him, because if they don't do anything this year, I think he's out the door. What are your thoughts on that game? I mean, I figure we would switch it up a little bit. We're only on day 1 of practice. Maddie's dealing with his Wi-Fi issues. You're back.
Maybe. I don't know if I've got audio though, because the audio.
Yeah.
We can hear
you.
We hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
And we can see you.
Yeah, I can't hear you through here, so.
But you can't hear us. Okay.
I can hear you, but I can only hear you through that. Like, nothing's working tonight.
Gotcha.
When the internet works, the audio doesn't work. When the audio works, the internet doesn't work. I don't know what's happening, but we're here. So we're going to go.
Pterodome.
Imagine, if you will, a man who can see but can't hear. And then he can hear but can't see. Welcome to the East Coast Red and Gold Show.
I'm
I
in a
assume my mute
dream.
routine has
What
been
up?
activated. That's what must be going on. There's no other reason. I just don't know. So.
Woo-wee. Maddie, we are talking about the Jets game.
Yeah, Jess was asking. Okay, so it doesn't matter what Jess was asking.
Yeah.
Never mind, okay?
You know what? Never mind, Maddie. Never mind.
We take it
We're
back.
good.
Guess he doesn't care
Okay.
about that game as much as
What
we
about-
do. No.
He's like, I'm out.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, hold on.
What about
Wait,
the
he's
Jets
there.
game?
Oh, talk to
Where?
us.
I'm here.
Yeah.
What about the
Oh,
Jets?
Okay.
okay.
What about it?
No, just tell us your thoughts, like, because they'll be playing for Robert Saleh. If they don't do well this year, I think he's out the door. Like their defense, Hassan Reddick is holding out. Just your thoughts on that game.
That's cute.
Well, Matt is collecting his thoughts. Matt, I got to tell you, you have never looked better. I mean, you are gorgeous right now, buddy.
Black is your color.
Black is definitely your color, I'll jump in here. Look, I think we just
Okay,
have to
Ty.
execute. It's one of those things where Kyle knows what Saleh's going to run on defense, right? He's going to know just what they're going to try to do, how they're going to try to attack this. I'm sure it's what Kyle does. He just studies defense, and this is a defense that he knows firsthand because he's seen it for all these years firsthand. So if the offense just comes out, executes, does their thing, I'm sure we'll put points on the board. Defensively, it's a question mark. I'm sure we're going to get back to our core principles because that's one of the things that he talked about, just us getting back to our core principles of that cover 3 and having the front 4 rush. It's just seeing how the replacement parts, what they bring, right?
How they gel.
How they, right? How they gel, how they fit in this defense. Are they going to attack with the same vigor as the players of the past attacked when this defense was doing its thing, right? If young Malik Mustafa is the other safety, is he going to, step up? Who's going to be that third cornerback? It's obviously going to be someone new. How the new defensive linemen are going to adjust. So all those things.
Well, they did say, speaking of the cornerback, they did say that it was Charvarius Ward and Isaac Yiadom, and then Demo Lenore moved inside.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah. And we know Yiadom was their first free agent signing of the cornerbacks. So you would think he'd be the guy getting, the first team reps per se. So it's good to hear a report on him. So yeah, but once again, how's he going to fit?
And also, Demo Lenore said on the Kay Adams show that they seem to be negotiating contract-wise.
Yeah, remember I brought that up earlier in the show, how the dynamic between him and BA,
so different.
The 180 difference between the two and what's going on. I should say the night and day difference. It's like that's what makes BA frustrating.
And I think Aaron Rodgers is a question mark too in the game. How rusty is he going to be coming back off of injury? And if we put a lot of pressure on him, is he going to be mobile? Is he going to be able to stand up?
Yeah. Is he going to be scared to move on that thing? Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we'll pressure test that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely throw some Leonard Floyd at him.
Exactly.
Same one who tackled him when he tore his Achilles last season. Yeah, with Aaron Rodgers, I'm not a fan at all. He actually said something about I guess Brock Purdy's wife saying that saying that he she looks like an ex-girlfriend of his or whatever. Like I don't know the whole context of it, but it was just kind of weird. Yeah, it just
why say it?
Yeah, right. It's just kind of stupid, but anyway, you guys have any thoughts as we move into tomorrow, day 2? and anything you guys got going on before we break to next week?
Day 2. What do I want to hear from day 2? I don't know. More the same. Like I said, I'm all about the backups, the young guys. I want to hear how they're doing. I'm interested to see, like last off season, like on one day, a certain set of group had like first team reps, and then they would switch it the next day. So, and then a certain other group came in and had first team reps. So like today, Spencer Burford started at right guard. Tomorrow is Dominic Pooney going to get in there at right guard. Something like that, just to mix things up, see how it goes. Are they going to put him at right tackle? Maybe give him some reps there. They're always tinkering at this time of year. So for me, it's interesting to see how much they tinker and how much they do. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing like reports of that nature, and just a continued, evaluation of these young guys. That's it. And I want to hear more about how the defense is doing. What'd you say, Becca? I'm sorry.
Your BA deal is done.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. He's there.
Yeah, I feel like we're days away from it for some reason.
Spend the night in Lynch's office, just hammer it out, get her done.
Exactly.
Order up some pizza and just talk it out.
Yeah. Yeah, Becca.
Yeah, I mean, I think I tend to just watch and let it all play out and see who's performing and what we're getting out of the young guys as they're rotating through, and watch that all start to shake out. So I don't really have expectations, just observations is what I like to do, and see what happens, and see who gets the reps and what they look like doing it and how that all plays out.
Yeah, and tomorrow is the first day that is open to the fans, I believe. I'm pretty sure. It's Thursday and Friday. Pretty sure.
Yep.
So I know we'll have a lot of our people on hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, fellow faithful and people that do this, to, have podcasts. Like I know Steph's going to be there, and Ted is going to be there, and maybe a few others. So I'll be
there next week.
And Jess will be there next week. That's right. So we're going to be getting firsthand reports of what's going on, and like live at the minute tweets and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of information just coming through. So that's going to be fun and exciting.
Yeah, this is the part where all the stats are going to come out, and all those fun things that I can't stand.
Exactly. But this year we won't hear much of Brock went 4 of 9 in drills and all that crap.
I hope not. I really hope not, because that was unbearable last year.
Oh, it was too much. It was too much.
And then just go see what I'm going to do is obviously I'm going to watch it. I'm going for next Saturday. Yes, Tony, no injuries.
That's always definitely.
Always. But I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to watch it like that. Like it's my first time at training camp, so I just kind of want to just get a feel for the practice, really.
Soak it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there with a notebook or my phone and just kind of jot stuff down. I mean, I have a mission though that I'm hoping to accomplish.
Of course.
Yes, I have a mission.
Well, some key people there.
I do.
So
But my mission is that I am going to get Kyle Shanahan's hat.
Oh,
that is my mission.
Look at his face.
Wait, hold on. Which from the presser, people already want to know what that hat is and can they get it?
I'm not I mean
so
the hat from his head.
The hat.
I know. Yeah.
Not that I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, we
But
know
yeah.
you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Well,
is
you
that
know
is
where I'll
my
be next
my
Saturday.
mission.
Yes. And
Sorry,
East
no,
Coast Red
Barbara
and Gold
Walters will make
team
guys
is
cry at practice.
East Coast Red and Gold team is traveling.
That's
So
right.
we got Jess going to training camp. Rebecca will be at the Hall of Fame, hanging out with Patrick Willis. I heard he asked you to do the induction speech, but you gracefully declined and
No, I
said you should
didn't.
have family do it instead. That is wonderful of you, by the way. Just want to give you
I am
kudos for that
family
one.
tie.
I
He's
know
going
you
to
are, but you
be
was
my
like,
husband.
you know the story of him and his sister and how tight
Yeah.
they were, and you said no, let her do it.
Yeah.
So it shows you how great Becca is.
So gracious.
And yeah, and in Tennessee on the 8th, I'll be at preseason game 1. So the East Coast Red and Gold team, we're getting around, folks. We don't just talk about it.
I
We go
think
out
Maddie
there
will
and
be
live
in
it.
Nashville as well, right, Maddie? You'll be in
Yeah,
Nashville.
You going to
that
the
is
Bill?
also
Turn
a
it up.
possibility. There's a very good possibility that hopefully I find some internet at some point too.
I'm gonna bring some internet with
Who
me.
knows? If I find any of that stuff, if I
Well,
find
once
working
your
internet, I'm happy for that.
negotiating
You
the
know,
contract.
Maddie, between now and next Wednesday, find your
I
internet.
think so. My internet today is doing a hold in. I think it's doing a hold in.
You
Like
got-
it's here. It says it's here, but it's not doing it. Its neck and its back are really sore.
Yeah, I was about to ask that question. Is his neck and the back okay there?
That has to be
Great.
what's happening.
Yeah, we're just kind of shooting the shit right now. Before we end, Maddie,
Yeah,
anything
this
you'd
is
like
fun.
to add? Because since you've been holding in tonight.
As soon as I start
This
adding,
thing's
my
the
internet's
hold-in.
going to die. So just go buy some season tickets at NinersNE.com. That's all I have for you tonight. That's it.
What
I was able
what
to
games
say
you got
that
available?
without going. Let's get the first couple out of the way. Specifically, either the Jets or the Patriots, either one, because I have to buy multiple seats for the Patriots game. So I'll be selling my 2 seats for that one. So NinersNE.com, and you can purchase right from the site now. That is how simple I've made it.
Lovely.
You don't even have to Venmo me. You can just buy them, and I'll be like, "Oh, hold on, let me ship those right over to you." And then if you want other ones later in the season, just email me. The email address is right there, or any of the social media stuff. So please don't make me sell this to like
No.
opposing
it.
fan people. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do it.
But don't want it.
All right, let's go to that hurry up offense in the 2-minute warning.
I thought we were just kind of doing it.
I'll make it official. Go ahead, Becky.
There we go.
Let's see. Happy belated birthday to Spencer Burford and Trent Williams, my birthday
And
twins.
yourself. Happy
That's
birthday.
right. Happy birthday.
And happy camp. It's here. Football's back. Let's get it done. And safe travels to Jess. My Hall of Fame credentials came yesterday. I'm so excited. I'll be in Ohio for Patrick, my husband's Hall of Fame induction. And go Niners.
Got Maddie.
Let's just keep the faith on all this contract stuff. I mean, that's what we do with Faithful, right? NinersNE.com. Get your tickets.
Ty.
There you go. Yeah. So the whole guys going their separate ways is over. They're back. Specifically BA and the whole Niners team are back. They're in the same building. You get on the phone with the agent every day. Let's make a call, get this thing done so we can stop talking about it and really focus on camp. To everybody going to camp, have fun out there. If it's your first time, kind of soak it in, meet the other faithful. Everybody's cool and enjoy. Go Niners.
Yeah, let's hope for no injuries. Becca, shake that candlestick dirt, please. And let's, get the contracts done. Let's focus on football. We have a Super Bowl to win. Like Maddie said, 30 years. It's time.
That's a long time.
There we go. And
The new
shout out
logo.
to the chat. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. and just enjoy everything. And we'll be back next week. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.